Hi friends, we are starting off the day strong at a thrift store for books, which is so exciting. I picked up 2 books. I got, well, I was originally going to get 3, and then I was like, no, I'm on a budget because I'm about to go on a big trip, which we'll talk about later, but I got this one finally. I've had my eyes on her for a long time, and I got it for $9.50. What a steal. All the other ones that I kept seeing in stores were about almost $20 because they were all the hard copy, but it's also just a newer book. And then I got There, which I've never heard of, but obviously it got a lot of praise because it was a Pulitzer Prize finalist. So super excited to read both of these. Yeah, 2 books for $20. I think that's a steal. So now we are going to go to an actual thrift store with clothes. I would love to find some more white flowy pieces for this trip. I think that would be really fun for the setting. I can also just buy stuff there if I don't find any, so that's okay if we don't get lucky this time. You know, thrifting is always like a hit or miss, which I kind of like because it feels like extra special when you do find something that you like and something that fits. But yeah, we're gonna go hit up a thrift store and then probably get bubble tea. It feels like a bubble tea kind of day. It's just really hot and humid. I think it's 92 degrees right now, so bubble tea would be much appreciated. And then we're gonna go home and talk about books and my upcoming trip and have a very cozy evening together. So let's go. Alright, so I lied. I was thinking about it on the drive. I even made it to the thrift store and then I was like, you know what? No, I don't think I should go thrifting because I am fairly confident that we will be shopping in the place that I am going to next week on our very big overseas trip. And I feel like if I'm going to spend my money, I would rather spend it on clothing there than here because I can thrift here at any time. So yeah, anyway. Thrifting plans canceled. We are now at the bubble tea shop. Let's go get some bubble tea. Y'all know that breaking the seal on one of these babies is actually the best part of bubble tea, so I had to include you in on that experience. Now that we are cozy back at home, hi, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Tyler, and I make a bunch of nonsense videos about books and travel and thrifting and everything else in my super average 26-year-old life, so thank you for joining. So today is a very calm, cozy day. I literally had nothing on my agenda. Even filming this video was super last minute, which is excellent. I really needed a day like this. Life has been unusually eventful. I've had a lot of random, unexpected trips. If you watch my last YouTube video about my glamping book retreat, that was extremely last minute. By the way, that all happened because Hyatt found me, Hyatt Hotel, the Hyatt, found me on TikTok, which is so crazy because my TikTok is very small. I feel like I've not taken TikTok very seriously until just a few months ago. And I have an Instagram too that is brand new and has very little following because I decided to create a whole new account for my more creative content stuff. But they found my TikTok despite its small size, and that's how I got invited to that whole event, this weekend-long event in the Great Smoky Mountains, and a glamping book retreat. That's what I've been calling it. It's actually called Camp Unwritten, and you can Google it. It's with Hyatt, Reese's Book Club, and Under Canvas, and it was the coolest experience. And it is such a reminder to me that, like, actually, this is a reminder to you. If you are a content creator or you want to be one, to just post your stuff, because like I never anticipated any of that. I literally have less than 5,000 followers on TikTok. Like, you can go see my social medias, they're in the description. I don't have a bunch of followers, so I was really stunned when they contacted me, and I actually thought it was a scam. I had to Google them because I thought, like, I'm going to be trafficked. Like, I'm going to go to this thing and then I'm going to be trafficked because this isn't real. I just always thought that only really big, actual influencers got this kind of stuff, but it really just happened to be that they were looking for a local person who loved books, and they somehow came across my content on TikTok, and that's how that happened. And it all happened within like 2 weeks. I got a message from them, and then they were like, yeah, this is happening in 2 weeks. Are you available? And I was like, I don't know. I was not anticipating this at all. So I think I messaged them like 5 days before the trip and was like, okay, I'm confirming I will be there. So yeah, just crazy last minute stuff like that. If you want to go see all that, that's in my other video. But it was just a wonderful experience overall, and a really good reminder that even if you think your content is not important or valuable, it might be to someone else. And that someone else might be Hyatt or some other really rich company that wants to take you on an all-inclusive retreat. So post your content. Anyway, that was just my little spiel on that whole ordeal. I got 2 books, as I showed you guys. So 2 books at the thrift store. By the way, I got a mound. If you want to skip this part, if you're not here for the books, baby, go ahead and move forward, because here they come. I am half kidding though. We're not going to make this entire video about the books, but I do have a lot to like briefly talk about, because I want to show you what I bought, what I have read recently, what I'm currently reading, and what I plan to read. And if you guys have any opinions on any of these books, please let me know. If there's a book in here that you thought was awful, that is not worth my time, please let me know. First up, we're going to talk a little bit about the books that I just bought with you guys at the book thrift store. So first up, we have There There by Tommy Orange. Tommy Orange. This is about Native Americans, which is so cool. I have never read a book about Native Americans outside of like history class in school. And I think it follows the lives of multiple different people that are all traveling to something called the Big Oakland Powwow, which is a powwow in Oakland, California. I think that is fictional. I don't know. Fact check me on that one. Obviously got a lot of praise because it's a Pulitzer Prize finalist. So super excited to read that one. And then this one is called Lady Tan's Circle of Women. So this is about a woman in ancient China who I think starts using medicine and becomes almost like a doctor, if I'm not mistaken, which I believe was very unusual for that time in China. So I saw this a lot when it first came out, and it's been on my TBR list for a long time. But I've only seen it in hardback, which is more expensive, so I got very lucky coming across this paperback one. So yeah, those are to be read in the future. So let's get to the books that I am currently reading, starting off with Broken Country. So this is actually a Reese's Book Club pick, and I bought it at the Glamping Book Retreat. So this book, I'm only a few chapters in. Like 2 or 3 chapters, if that. Honestly, I'm not even sure. But I am having a hard time really liking it. I think the writing style is a little bit different. It feels very short and just curt. And I am having a hard time feeling connected to the characters, I think. So the whole setting of the book is very idyllic, in my opinion. It is in the countryside of England, I believe, and it's about a woman who's married, and they live on a farm. Her husband is a farmer, and she ends up reconnecting with an old love who happens to move back into town. He went off to London some years ago, and now he's back, and I think there's a whole bunch of drama and probably some romance stuff going on. And so I'm excited about the story. Like, I want to know what happens, and I'm going to continue reading it. I just am not a huge fan of the writing style at the moment, but maybe I'll get used to it. I don't know. We'll see. The other book that I'm reading is Daisy Jones and the Six, which is upstairs, I think. I think it's actually in my bathroom by the bathtub, because I was reading it and having a hot bath this morning, which was such a lovely experience. So Daisy Jones and the Six is super well known, and I feel very late getting to this book. I feel like everyone else in the world has read it except for me, but it is a book about a band forming in the 1970s, and I think it is loosely based on Stevie Nicks and her band, if I'm not mistaken. I think I read that somewhere online very briefly, but fact check me on that one. It is not a real band, though, which is really funny because the way the author writes it, it kind of sets it up like it is a real band, and I genuinely thought for the first 3 chapters that it was a real band, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. It sounds like I should have heard their music, right? Like, how do I find their music? And then I was like, oh, it's not real. Which makes sense. Like, this is literally fiction, but like, that's just a testament to like how well this is written. It is so cool. It's written like interview style, which you would think would make it feel less personable and like you would not connect with the characters as much, but that is not the case for me. I am incredibly invested in the whole story. I am over halfway through the book, and hopefully we'll finish it by Monday, I think, so over the next 2 days. And then I will move on to some other books. Okay, oh my gosh, I forgot. I finished this book as well. This is called The Unworthy. This is the same author that wrote Tender is the Flesh. Incredibly dark. I'm like getting into like the dark dystopian books because of this author. Her name is Augustina Bastrica, I think, if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, this is called The Unworthy. It's about a woman who, I say woman, I think she is. I think she's a young woman, but we don't exactly know her age. But a young woman who is trying to survive in a world that has fallen apart because climate change has hit its peak and society has collapsed. And while she is desperately seeking shelter and food, she comes across what appears to be this very welcoming community of women. Turns out to be a cult. This was an absolutely crazy book to read, and I'm like all into the cults, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I love the cult documentaries. I love the cult podcasts, so like I was really excited about this one. And I had mixed feelings about the ending, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the writing style. It was just fascinating. Like the entire time, you're trying to figure out what is happening, what has happened, and what is going to happen. And I love a book that can leave me wanting more and more every single chapter, and that's what this one did. So yeah, if you're looking for something dark and disturbing, here she is. Okay, finally, the books that I plan to read. We have Carly Fortune, One Golden Summer. I have read her books before. I think I've read 2 of them at least, and have enjoyed all of them. They are just really fun summer reads. They're never too heavy, and this one is giving me the same vibes. It's like on a lake, I think, or some kind of island, and it seems like lovers from the past reunite in the future kind of thing. So yeah, if you've read this one, let me know what you thought. No spoilers, please. No spoilers. The next one is also a romance. So this is Problematic Summer Romance with Allie Hazelwood. Yes, Allie. I thought it was a co-author situation. Is it just Allie? I don't know. Okay, I guess it's just Allie Hazelwood. Anyway, yeah, so this is I don't even know what it's about. I'm not gonna lie, I picked this up like a month ago. Okay, I remember this one now. So it's a romance, and the big thing with this book is that there's an age gap. So the female character is 23, the male character is 38, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm gonna find out and let you guys know, maybe in another video, what I thought about it. So yeah, let me know. I've seen a couple reviews that like they enjoyed it, but it wasn't their favorite Allie Hazelwood book, and that might be the case for me too. I don't know, but I'm still excited about it. So yeah, those are all the books that I'm currently working with or have worked with over the last month. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I'm having a good time, and can't wait to hopefully get to these 2 new books sometime in the future. So it is about 7 p.m., which means that I think it's time to make dinner. So how about we make some dinner together, and I can tell you about my big trip that is happening next week. Okay, so we are making spaghetti tonight, and that is because we're going to Italy! I think I actually disclosed this information in an earlier vlog over winter. I think it was January or February, but at the time I was supposed to be going to Italy that April. And that didn't happen. We had to cancel because a work conflict came up, which was entirely my fault. But yeah, we rescheduled for August, so this month, and it is happening in less than 5 days, next Wednesday, so super exciting. While I'm super excited about the trip, I'm starting to get the travel jitters too. You know when you start getting nervous about what to pack, what to know, keeping an eye on your passport in case it decides to grow legs and walk away, all that good stuff. I'll be traveling to Sorrento, Ostuni, and Rome with my mom and my brother. It's actually a very special trip because my mom will be reuniting with some friends that she met in Ostuni when she lived there in the 1970s. There are a lot of family memories there, and I'm excited to see the home that she once lived in and meet the friends that she once grew up with. It's a 10-day trip, and I will share plenty of photos and short videos on my TikTok and Instagram, so if you're interested in that, you can find those links in the description. Anyway, I'm gonna get hyped for my trip by eating my pasta and watching Call Me By Your Name, which is the ultimate film to watch if you're heading to Italy soon. I can't wait to share this trip with you guys, and hopefully I will see you all in a few weeks in Italy. See you next time. Bye!